Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm Denver DIY and I'm here with my best mechanics that I have. Today we're going to be working on 2003 Ford Explorer. I've heard this fixes a Ford Expedition as well, but basically what's going on is the rear heater, when you would turn it on, would just click. So what it is actually a motor or an actuator that has actually gone bad. So we're going to replace that today. I've already started, so I'm going to kind of do this video out of order to show you how to do it, but I just wanted to point a few things out before we get started. So this problem is pretty common, I guess, and the part that is broken, you can get them online for $15 to $20 a piece. Auto parts stores usually carry them for about $50. We're gonna do it. We ordered the ones off of eBay. I think we spent $14. There's also a kit where you can actually just replace the gear, but let me show you what's actually broken. So these are the actuators. There's two of them. They both control different pieces. They are different, so if you are ordering them, they do different functions. This one I've actually taken apart. So the issue right here is actually a gear itself. And if you look at the gear, it's really hard to tell. It's covered in grease there. All of the gears on this part have broken off. And so that's what goes bad. It's really like a 5-cent part that makes this whole thing not work. You can get this gear and just replace it. And these actually, once you get them out, there's clips on the side here that you can just snap off and open it up to rebuild it. But I've actually decided to just go ahead and replace it. So I've actually already replaced one. This is the replacement we're putting in. And when I talked to you about the differences here, if you look, actually,
how are you talking to your phone?
You have this piece and this piece, and they both have different functions. So each one of these actually serves a different function. So we're gonna be replacing them both. So actually, I've already got started, but I'm gonna show you what you have to do to get to this. So to get started, a couple things you have to remove are some trim pieces. So there's the trim piece that goes down here. You can see I've got them all on the ground over here. There's one down here. There's the upper up here. The seat belt side, both here and up here. The door threshold. And then, to take these out, it's actually really easy. They're just clipped in. You just pull them up and the clips pop out. You do want to be careful because they do have plastic on them and they do break from time to time. You can see the clips here that just pull out. Now, the last piece that you have to do is actually this whole side panel. And this is on the driver's side. So we've already removed it. And one of the tools you'll need is actually a Torx T50 bit, because you have to remove this seat belt from the passenger. So once all of that is out of the way, this whole panel will actually lift up. And I gotta work with it because it's tucked in there. All right, so this panel, actually you can just pull it back like this. Can you hold that for me?
If it cooperates.
If it cooperates. So there's a couple bolts you'll actually want to remove too, and I believe they're 10 millimeter. So there's one down here. There's actually one up here. And then there's one that's back around the side, and then this duct actually just slides up out of the way. So once you have those out, this actually pulls back away from the sidewall of the vehicle. So the parts that we're getting to are actually right back down here. So you can see the new one that I've put in back here. The other one goes back into it right here. And there's actually 3 screws on the top and then 1 down at the bottom. And I believe it's a 7mm ratchet. So really, to do this whole project, you need a 7mm, a 10mm, and a T50 Torx bit to do it. So I'm actually going to set up a time lapse here. We've already done the first half to get us to this point, but I'm actually going to film the rest of it to show you how it goes back together. So please hit like on the channel and subscribe if you want to see more projects that we're working on. We're actually working on 3 different vehicles right now, and then we'll be doing a bunch of projects at our house. And I have the world's best helpers here helping me. Say hi.
Hi.
Everybody, hi.
Hi.
So please like and subscribe if you you want to see more quality content. Thanks.
Are you?
All right, a moment ago I actually told you the wrong information. So this is the back side of it. These are actually held on by these, which are actually not 7mm, they're 8mm. A couple of things, a couple of tricks. So I'm just kind of holding this away as I'm working on it to get to it. It's kind of a pain, but make note of what temperature, like keep your temperature settings the same when you remove this unit. And if you are having trouble getting this little thing to go in here, it's probably because your actual car is defaulting back to the air conditioning setting. So I had to turn the air conditioning on just to get this motor to move to the proper position so I could get it lined up. So these motors also plug into the wiring harness right here. And then this is the second one. I actually removed this one just so I could get to the first one. So you can see how they both fit in here. This one is the actual blend door, which is down in here, and then this one's the temperature, which is right here. All right, so a couple other things. The 10mm I use is actually a longer socket, and the reason why is the stud that's over here that you have to undo is actually pretty long, so you'll need a long socket for that.
Where do I have to go?
It's all put together. The other thing I forgot to mention is there's actually a connector that connects the locking mechanism on this panel that you have to undo before you open it up. So it's all put back together in here. Everything's tightened back down. You want to make sure to pull this vent back down because otherwise you'll just be losing air. So everything is back together. We're going to start popping the panels on and we'll be done. Denver DIY. Just want to sign off here. This project is actually pretty easy. It takes a little bit of time. As you see in this video, we actually shot over 2 days because I only ordered one of the parts originally, so we had to wait for the other one to come in. But it fixes the issue with the climate control in the back not working and clicking, which is really annoying when you're driving. The tools we use in this job are pretty simple. A Torx T50 bit. I actually used a 10mm with a long socket because of one of the studs is very difficult to get to. An 8mm socket, and then I actually used 2 screwdrivers to help in different prying, things like that. We got all the panels put back together. Everything is working fine. There's no clicking. So all in all, this fix was about $30 with both parts that we replaced. You could maybe do it cheaper. You could probably go to the auto parts store and spend a little bit more, but we ordered ours online and waited the time to get it. But it did solve both problems. So I just want to remind you, if you get a chance, please subscribe or smash that like button. And we are signing off until next time. Bye.